What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, 3C Detailing. We're here at the Route 28 location, sitting next to this freshly coated 997 Targa. This guy doesn't even know. I haven't met the client yet, but this guy doesn't know that I'm gonna see how much he wants for this car. I would love to buy this car. It's really white nice. On brown, 6-speed. It's a 4S, so it's the wide body in the back. Fully stock, 20,000 miles. Couple rock chips in the hood, but other than that, it's mint. So this is a cool car. What do you think about this car?
It's really nice. When I walked through the doors, I was like, holy shit, this is really nice. And the interior too is the best part.
Yeah, no, I was surprised to see the brown.
Yeah, and it has a
you're a white car guy. You got the white Volkswagen.
Oh yeah. White cars are always the way to go for me. And then black wheels too, but this is really cool.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it's, like I said, dude, fully stock, 20,000 miles, so it's like it's a baby.
Yeah.
You know, there's you could nitpick any car, and I could nitpick any car much more than the average person. But to say that I would buy this car kind of shows that it's in pretty good shape for you know, its age.
If it looks good, that's all I care about. Just what it looks like.
Right. And these things drive awesome. I mean, it's the Targa, so you got the full sunroof. Sunroof goes all the way back. The Targas have a little bit different top end, right? They don't have the way that the pillar goes up the top from the A pillar over the side down to the C pillar, but it cuts off at the quarter panel. Non-Targa cars, that's one piece, right? That pillar piece just leaks right into the quarter panel and then just flows into that. But there's a cutoff line on those. And then the rear glass is ginormous.
Yeah, I was looking at it from the inside too. I'm like,
like, well, it's a fishbowl too. Yeah, I would tint this thing all black. But yeah, nah, it's sick, and it's definitely a gentleman spec.
I don't know. I'm not a sunroof guy though.
No, you're not a sunroof guy.
No.
Sunroofs suck because they leak, and this car has a little bit of a wet smell to it. So I bet you the sunroof does leak a little. Yeah. But everything's fixable. Of course. It's a dude, the car is 2007, so it's 19 years old.
And this is something you put your money into because value only goes up on cars like these.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially with low miles.
Yeah.
So what do we got today? What are we doing in the YouTube video today?
I know you guys haven't seen me before. I'm the guy behind the camera. This time I decided to be on camera so I could kind of talk to Aiden a little bit, pick his brain so that you guys can get all the questions answered that you've had. So that's why I'm here.
That was a complete surprise to me when he walked in this morning and he said, "Yo, let's go. We're getting on camera."
I said I'm gonna be on camera today because these guys, you can see someone's shadow right here. I bet you that's Rick. He was on camera for the last YouTube video, which by now that should be up. But he was on camera last week, and we're still trying to get Ryder. But I'm taking one for the team, showing these guys how it's done. So that's why I'm here.
Ryder will get there. It might take a couple months. But we'll get him on the camera. And you know, like I said, the people like natural stuff. So we just, you know, we're trying to make our, you know, these videos what we do on a daily basis. I know this is a little different. It's more on the content end, but a lot of these videos will be geared to what we do on our day-to-day basis. We could make videos, and we probably will make videos today, of working on the black C5 Corvette that's in there. This car is already completed, so we just decided to use that as a nice showpiece and make a video in front of it.
Yeah, of course. Too nice to skip out on this one. So now we're gonna get straight into the questions. So Aiden, first one is explain the name 3C Detailing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So 3C Detailing evolved, 3C as a brand evolved from many different things. When I started work, I was not a college guy. I skipped out on college. I went to college for the first like half a semester, and then just because my mom made me. But then my mom understood, thankfully, that I'm a worker. So I went right into work. I was doing everything you can imagine that a teenager was doing, an 18-year-old really was doing. So I was cutting hair, cutting grass, and cleaning cars.
Yeah.
So I had these three things. Cutting hair, obviously you're doing for yourself, by yourself, but you you start to develop relationships. You start to meet people because people get haircuts all the time. Then I started cutting people's grass from them meeting me through the barbershop. And then lastly, I always had a passion, and it's definitely not lastly, but I always had a passion for keeping my own car clean. So I have an uncle who cleans a regular still to this day, and he's a little older at this point, and his body's jacked up, but he's still doing it. He's still cleaning cars. And so he had this reputation, and it was always his side hustle. So I was kind of doing these other things. I was like, I can make this my side hustle as well. Uncle Vin does it, and he's really good at it, and people love the service. And people are really happy when they get their car detailed, back from a detail. And you get repeat clientele. So it was hitting all the areas. I was like, all right, let me start cleaning some more cars, right? At this time, I was probably like 16 years old.
Okay.
So I started cleaning cars, and then my friends knew that I was doing these other businesses because I was cutting their hair, and I was talking about cutting grass, and I was talking about cleaning cars. And had a couple friends that were like, yo, I'll help you out, with whatever, either one.
Yeah.
So I started this business with my friends, and without those friends, I would not have been able to get this business up to the, where it's at. So the three of us were cleaning cars, three of us were cutting grass, and I was cutting hair as my day job. Started to kind of develop more, because I'm just a car guy. I started to get more biased towards like my detailing business. And then 2 years ago, actually, no, it hasn't even, a year and a half ago, I sold my landscaping business. And then exactly 1 year ago, as of this month, I stopped cutting hair completely. And I cut hair for 9.5 years.
Wow.
The name 3C, to make a long story short, the name 3C was because I was cutting grass, cleaning cars, and cutting hair, right? So 3C. And what that stood for was the Clean Cut Corp.
Okay.
Right? So that was the real definition of 3C, Clean Cut Corp. So as of last year, I have, made revisions to the business, and we're constantly evolving and adapting to what we have going on currently from the business standpoint. Our standard is always high for our services, but the business fluctuates. So I also acquired a car wash. So when I got into the car wash, we didn't do any branding at first. It was just fixing the place, cleaning it up, making it look presentable, and making all the machines work. So then I got rid of cutting grass, cutting hair. I have now a car wash and a car detailing company, right? Luxury car care place is sort of what this place is evolving into. But to summarize it now, right? The definition now, because the business is always evolving. So the brand is always going to be progressing and evolving in the right direction, the right trajectory. 3C stands now for the Clean Car Company. So that's the long-winded answer to what 3C is. 3C Detailing, as we stand today, is the Clean Car Company.
Okay. Now you just touched on the car wash. Explain to the camera what's going on with the car wash.
So car wash is located in Albany. It's in Colony, if you're familiar with Albany. It's on Central Avenue in Colony. It's called 3C Rinse and Roll. So what the car wash consists of is 2 automatic touch-free bays. And both of those bays are 2 cars deep. So the front bay, the car is getting washed with the touch-free machine, and then you pull into the drying bay, which is a big machine that goes over and dries your car. 2 cars at once, so 4 cars total in the automatic bays. It has the potential to. We're still trying to, market it and get it busy enough to be doing that max capacity. But attached on the left side, if you're looking from it from the face of the building, if you're looking from it from the road, it'd be the right side. There's 3 self-serve bays. So those self-serve bays, I have Swiss tracks in 2 of them. And the one bay I just kept the floor because we call it the muddy bay. So That car wash was a phenomenal car wash many, many, many years ago.
Not now.
And the previous owners, multiple of them, kind of ran the car wash down to the ground. And now I'm here just trying to retrace their steps and get back to how the original person who really built it and put a lot of pride and care into it.
Yeah.
And try and be that. And then once I get to that point, then I can focus on making it better. You know what I mean? Making it a modern, new, up to, you know, our standard at this detail shop car wash. Just takes a lot of money and a lot of capital to get it there.
Yeah, of course. And then hopefully expand down the road.
For
add
sure.
a couple more onto
Absolutely. Car washes are awesome business.
Yeah. So another question is, what was your first ever job in this building? What was it like?
Oh, dude, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So, I know one of the first jobs I did, because washing my car was the first thing, right? I was washing my car in here before we even had the lights on. But we had 4 guys here. We did a Denali, and I think we had another truck that day. So we had 2 details in one day, and there was 4 of us. And I believe it was a Saturday, because at first we were only washing cars at night, because I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
The other dude that worked here had a full-time job. The other dude that worked here was in high school. 2 of the other dudes that worked here were in high school.
Yeah.
So they went to school during the day. So we washed cars at night. But I remember this Saturday, we had 2 details in one day, and we barely got it done, which was like crazy to see the progression from now. Like if we have 2 details, we can get them done way better than how we were in substantially less time.
Yep.
Just because our system has evolved. But that car was stressful. Those 2 cars in that one day were stressful because I didn't really understand how to work a car around the building, right? I knew we were going to wash it there, but I was washing cars in like the middle of the room. Now you see we only wash cars in the front of the room, and there's always another car in the back of the bay.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what we were doing. We were all discombobulated. There was a bunch of us like, just trying to figure out what we were doing. But in the end, it came out good. It was just a debacle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's evolved a lot from then, because explain your process now, pretty much like once you get an appointment in here versus how you first started out.
So, I mean, a big thing was like, like I said, when we started, it was mostly like we would do 3 or 4 cars a week, because we would take a job at 6 p.m. And the person could either pick it up the day before, because I had a lockbox and a Dropbox, or they would, we would deliver cars at that point, which we definitely don't now, but we would deliver cars back to them, because it was all, I already had a relationship with the people that I was cleaning their cars. We didn't really have much new business. Okay. It was all people I knew. So it's much different now, because we have to develop relationships with the people that come in. So we try and do that, and make them comfortable giving us the keys to their car. Right. So when they walk in, they see a nice shop. They see the lights are on. It's clean. The cars are shiny. All the surfaces are maintained, and there's not really dirt flying around this place like a lot of car shops. Yeah. So people are kind of blown away by that. So immediately they get a bit of comfort just by the building itself. So we is your question what the detail is like, or is it the customer experience?
Pretty much a little bit of both, but more like your detail process. So when you first started, of course, you're new to the business. You're still trying to
for sure
get things in order, versus now where someone drops their car off, you can expect to get it in the wash bay, get it cleaned up quick.
It's like boom, boom, boom now. Because that was why I didn't really understand your question at first, because that's hard. It's so fluent now that I almost have to think about how easy our system is. Which is funny. So car gets pulled in. We got the keys. Boom. The keys get a tag, a custom 3C tag on the keychain, so we can keep track of the cars. They have service order numbers. Our current ones are like 370 or something because we started it. We started to develop this system at the end of last year. So they get the keys get tagged, car gets pulled into the wash bay. Depending on the service, we often, if it's just a regular detail, the inside gets completed, right? Because if the inside is the worst, sometimes that's the most time-consuming part of it, depending on the service. Car gets interior done immediately, and then it moves into a wash. So we do the wash second because if you wash a car and you have a dirty interior, if you wash a car first and you have a dirty interior, the interior will create so much dust that you got to wipe the outside of the car down again.
Right.
So bang out the interior, wash the exterior, and then do the rest of the processes.
Okay.
Right. So if it's, coatings, PPF, just regular paint corrections, whatever it may be, PPC coatings, the process changes a little bit, but the car goes into our app database. Once the job is created and the booking goes into the system, it goes into a queue in our app. And then once the car is here that day, we just check the car in. So the car gets populated into our app, and then we have the ability to, if the detailers are working on the car, they have checklists that they check off so we can see the progression of the car. But not only that, they have, because the car is checked in and it has the car's, year, make, model, trim, and oftentimes the VIN, we can populate the owner's manual. We have an AI chat bot that will, answer any questions that we have, like, oh, how do I, get something open or whatever. How do I take this headlight out of this 997? Because it's super easy. An AI bot could tell you how to do that in 2 seconds. But so it streamlined the system for sure. So that's really, that's kind of the gist of what happens. And then we always try and make our delivery an experience. We give the customer a walk around of their car, no matter what the service is, the detailer, the person who works on the car, whether it's me, whether it's Ryder, whether it's Eric, goes and does the walk around with the customer and kind of tells them what came out good, some things that didn't come out, and I did everything I could. I exhausted all of my, systems and processes, and there's nothing that I could do to get that out, because that is the possibility oftentimes. I say that all cars kind of have character. So like this car, a lot of people would be like, oh, it's perfect. But like I mentioned, I could tell you a handful of things, wrong with it.
Of course.
So it's just character to the car. And every car has that, especially on interiors.
Of course. Now, what was the hardest part about building this business?
I mean, I got a lot of answers to that, but the hardest part of building a business is I am somebody who's very eager, and I'm very persistent and determined and impatient.
Okay.
So oftentimes I'm sitting here, working the way that I do, the amount that I do, and I'm thinking to myself, man, when is this going to pay off? But then sometimes I have to just take a step back and realize that the business has grown a ton recently. And the business hasn't been around for a long time. It's still a baby. So really the patience in building the reputation of the brand, the brand awareness, and then the clientele that comes with that brand awareness. Okay. And it's just time, right? It's like building a credit score. You can have everything checked off good, but if you don't have a long history, because you're our age, young,
Still
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do in that category. So it's just patience. So this business has taught me a ton about patience. But I would say that's the hardest thing for me, is being patient and grounding myself, understanding that, everybody's definition of success is different. But if you look at it from a broad spectrum, you know, the little bit that we have created in this tiny little business is some form of success. And that's really important to stay aware of.
Gotcha. Now, to piggyback on that question, have you ever hit a point where you wanted to just quit? Just be like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me? I know majority of business owners go through that, but what's your experience in that sense, if you've been through that?
Yeah, I've been through it. I've been through it from a financial standpoint in like the dead of winter. You know, the wintertime, this business is just not busy because the New York winters are horrible. And those who live in this area know that.
Oh yeah.
And I you know, I totally get it. I wouldn't get my car detailed in the winter either. But so like, yes, I've been through it. However, I never really have came to the conclusion that I'm just gonna quit. My father raised me to, there was times where I played a ton of sports when I was a kid, dude. There was times where I was on a team that maybe wasn't good in the sport that I was playing, or maybe I preferred to play on another. I was playing in too many leagues, and I preferred to play this other league than this one. And saying to my dad, I just want to quit this team. I don't want to play on this team, or whatever it was, whatever bullshit 12-year-old goes through.
Yeah.
But my father never let me quit. And I always remembered that he never let me quit. So that's kind of why I just have this, I'm determined to not quit and not have that perspective or mentality. So that's a tough question. That's a tough question to answer.
So, all right. So let me piggyback on that too. So basically, the way your dad raised you, plus playing sports, played a part in you like being determined to achieve a goal.
Oh, absolutely.
In this business too.
Absolutely. Yes. I had I played baseball. That was my main sport. I had a coach in baseball that was it was interesting. He was a hard ass. But I always was attracted to the coach that was hard on me specifically. So I was a catcher, and the catcher is always with the coach, right? In infield, outfield, coach hits the ball, hits it to all the players, right? But the catcher is standing next to the coach.
Okay.
And he's catching every throw that comes in and handing him the ball so he can hit it up, and that's how it goes in baseball, whatever. So I was just always with this dude. And I didn't start out as a catcher. He was all of a sudden one day like, all right, you're going to be a catcher. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing as a catcher. So he was really hard on me and saw that I could do it. So the determination, once again, that word keeps coming up, that he had to coach me to be the best of my ability he was a hard ass on me. And I took it well. There was days where I'd go home and I'd be pissed off, but ultimately it started to create the man that I became, as well. And that's just a baseball coach, which had it's crazy how that had a huge impact.
I was going to say you probably haven't thought about it like that.
Yeah, yes. There's from that, now I'm a little bit older perspective. So, yes, I do think that those things together created who I am as a person. And the other big thing with baseball is you can't play that game without a team, right? That team, that's 100%. There's no way to be successful, or if you have one guy down on the 9-person field, you're gonna lose that game. So it's important to have your full starting 9, and make the most out of those people. So that's how it is in this business. I try and make the most out of the people that are involved in it, and bring out be a leader to bring out the best of their ability. That's what a coach does in sports. So for sure it does.
Okay. Now, what sets you apart from other detailers?
I really think a lot of it has to do with our are, first of all, we're always honest,
Mm-hmm.
right? So honesty, our respect for everyone's needs, right? Everybody, we always ask people, is there anything, you know, in particular with your car that is bothering you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, is there a spot or a stain that you constantly look at that made you want to come get your car detailed?
Mm-hmm.
So it's those things. Our standard
Mm-hmm.
is incredibly high. So if we have a trained eye for what we're doing and we try and be 1% better every day in
Mhm.
every job
Mhm.
and be consistent on always being better than the last car, then people's expectations are exceeded and then they're happy,
Mhm.
right? Because they see our standard and our quality. And we never lower our standard. And with this building, at least, it's, you know, it's got a high standard to itself, right? You come in and the standards are high. Like I said before, everything's clean, everything looks presentable.
Mhm.
So I think that's where we benefit really is, you know, the customer experience on top of our standard.
Okay. Now we're gonna pivot into more detailing questions. So,
Okay.
how often do you think someone should get their car detailed?
Every week. No.
Now, why do you
I
say
think,
that?
no.
Okay, all right.
No,
I
that's
was gonna
ridiculous.
say, come see us
Um,
every week.
Yeah, no, that would be ridiculous. But if you do want to come once a month, we have memberships. We have a couple different ways to structure a membership as well, so we can kind of cater to everyone's needs.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, if I'm gonna be a salesman, I'll tell you, yeah, come once a month. But no, like if it's me, right, and I know how to, I'm a car guy,
Mhm.
right? I know how to wash my car.
Mhm.
I may not know how to detail my car to the level that we do, but I can at least wash my car and vacuum the inside and maybe wipe down the dash and, you know, little things like that. But so if you're washing your car yourself and you're maintaining the car, I think that it's reasonable to come 3, maybe 4 times a year. And you could maybe, you know, get more details in the spring if it's raining or the fall if it's raining, right? But at some point you would end up with 3 or 4 actual details
Mhm.
a year. That's pretty reasonable. People with our people whose cars we ceramic coat, we tell them to come minimum twice a year, right? Every 6 months we got to put the booster, the maintenance spray on your ceramic. It's best if you come a little more than that, right? You want to come 3 times, 4 times a year. It's really not that much. And especially with cars that we maintain, the service sometimes can be a little bit cheaper because we maintain your car and your car is, you know, it comes out flawless every time because we're constantly staying on it. I have people that bring their cars every 2 to 3 weeks. Those people are awesome. Shout out to those people. But long story short is I think 3 to 4 times a year is like
Ideal.
Aces for
Okay.
sure. Minimum
Mhm.
twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you did mention ceramic coating a little
Yeah.
bit. Now, most people don't know the difference between ceramic coating and waxing.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
explain
I
that.
mean, well, chemically, that's a whole nother story that's completely different. And the way that it bonds to the car is completely different. But a wax, to make it as simple as possible, this is what I tell people all the time. Ceramic coating is a long-term wax, right? It's a long-term sealant. It's not really a wax, it's a sealant. But people hear the word wax, and they're like, oh, long-term wax, awesome. But wax will last you, if you do a mint wax job, right? Like old cars, we've buffed, polished the whole 9, and then did a 2-step wax process, sometimes 3-step wax process. When we wax a car like that, you'll probably get at most 6 months out of that wax if you keep it in the garage and it's not sitting outside. At most. And that's a mint wax job. What most people consider waxing my car is most 2 months out of that wax, right? At most, you'll get 2 months of protection out of that. What we put on your car, what this car has, as long as this guy brings his car in for, minimum twice a year, even this car doesn't get driven a lot. Once a year probably would be fine. His coating will last 5 years, and we won't have to touch up the coating as far as its strength if he's maintaining it. If he's not maintaining it, and we never see this car again, which happens sometimes, especially when people kind of live far away. If it's not maintained, he might get 3 years out of the coating, because in all honesty, it's a ceramic coating. It's not any form of, abrasion resistancy or protection in that sense.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, ceramic coatings are a very good chemical protectant, but there's no physical, abrasion resistancy to it. So if I took my dry finger, that kind of has probably some sawdust from the project I was working on outside, and I just start rubbing my finger on this paint, I will scratch that, right? It's arguably, on a white car, it's better, but if this car was gloss black, I would tell you that it's arguably easier to micro-mar the ceramic coating than it would be to micro-mar the actual OEM clear, because this OEM clear, although it's, somewhat malleable, it's hard. It's a very hard clear coat. And ceramic coatings are hard, but you can micro-mar ceramic coatings sometimes easier than a regular clear coat.
Okay.
But you can't really see a ceramic coat. When I put PPF on a car, or when I put PPC, like a Vanguard Formula 1051, you can physically see a difference, right? Whether the car's more glossy, whether you can see with PPF like edges and things like that, so on and so forth. So there's a ton of knowledge I could spill on you. What else you got for me?
All right. So I know a lot of people say, "Oh, detailing your car is expensive." Fair. Well, why does it cost what it costs?
Because it costs a lot to run this place. It costs a lot to buy the quality products that we use, followed by the quality tools that we use.
Come on.
Come on, Rick.
Am I interrupting?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not interrupting at all, bro. You're just walking right in front of a camera.
Say hi to the camera at least, man. Come on.
What's up? I'll grab all the batteries this time.
There you go. See you, Rick.
See ya.
Anyways, there's a ton of factors to it. This place is in an ideal location. So I rent this building. Renting in this location, in this area, is not cheap. The electric bills are in this area, thanks to Central Hudson, are not cheap.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of time and effort into working on your car. So a lot of that cost into a detail is labor. We compensate well here. People are very happy here. People are excited to come to work, which is the goal. So the way that we have it structured is pretty logical from the business standpoint, right? We're not just throwing numbers out there. We're making strategic calculations to figure out what each service costs and what comes with that service, which is why we have tons of different options. And in January, I added $45 to each service, because that $45 is per car on average is what it costs us to replace all of the tools that break on a basically routine, couple of year, sometimes 1 year basis. Our vacuum is an industrial commercial vacuum that can be rebuilt, but if something severe breaks on that vacuum, because that vacuum runs all day long, dude, you got to replace it. So that's why I added people. People come back from last year and they come, early this year and say, "Oh, this is a little bit more," and I apologize. I I don't really apologize because it does make sense from a business standpoint. So I can't apologize for my business being operated, right? I'm also starting to learn stuff like that too, being a businessman. That it's sometimes you want to say sorry, but there's nothing to really be sorry for because it's just business. So that's a big lesson that I've learned, kind of on a different topic. But anyways, what's your next question?
Next question would be, what services do you offer right now? So all your services.
You can get an interior detail, or you can get like just an interior detail or just an exterior detail. That's about as basic as it gets. Then we have our advanced service, which is a full interior detail with an exterior wash and wipe down. And it's as simple as that. The pro service is our full interior exterior together service. So we spend an hour extra on the detail. We do the engine bay, spend a little more time on the wheels and the wheel wells. We put the FenLab hybrid ceramic detail spray on it, which is 6-month sealant. Sometimes, people will get away with getting some of that FenLab on their advanced service just because it's easier to dry a car off with that stuff. But we put more product on and more deliberately to the surface with the pro service. Like I said, spend an extra hour on the detail. Those are our basic detailing. We have gentleman spec, which is kind of more catered to our 911 community. The gentleman spec is our really good interior exterior detail on your car that you have a ton of pride in, and instead of spending an extra hour, we may spend an extra 2 or sometimes 3 hours on that detail. So that detail could take us, over half of a day, with just multiple guys focused on one car, polishing some surfaces, cleaning some things up that maybe we wouldn't spend that much time doing in just the regular detail. So after the gentleman spec, that's our gentleman detail. It's a gentleman detail. After that service, we got let's see, the seasonal ceramic coating. Seasonal ceramic coating is an exterior wash, clay bar, 1-step polish, interior detail, and then we surface prep it after the 1-step polish and put the Avant-Garde ceramic sealant on, which is a 6-month sealant with some darkening agents in it. So it really makes, cars pop and shine. After that, we get to paint corrections, which vary depending on the car, the size, how bad some things are, if it's 2-step or 3-step or wet sand. So that's kind of a ballpark area. That's kind of a wide variety priced service. Then we get to 1-year, 1-step ceramic coating, which is just a 1-step polish with a 1-year coating. It's a little bit more than the seasonal ceramic coating, just because the cost of the product costs a little bit more. Then we got the 2-step correction with the 5-year ceramic coating, which is what the majority of our ceramic coatings get done to them. That's what this car got done. We coated this with FenLab Ultra V3. That's our go-to 5-year coating. That's the majority of what we do with our ceramic coatings. Then we get to PPC, which is paint protective coatings. I mentioned that earlier. Avant-Garde Formula 1051 has a hand-applied, self-leveling, some self-healing agents added to it, resin-based sacrificial layer of clear coat. I know that's a ton of information, but if you break it all down, it does make sense. So we apply it by hand. It self-levels. If you scratch it, there's self-healing capabilities to it. So in the sun, it'll kind of just heal itself up, just like how PPF does. It's not quite as thick as PPF. However, there's no orange peel. It levels completely, incredibly. It adds much more gloss to a car than PPF does. It's a very honest product. It's not a like restorative product. It's not going to restore your paint. But if you put it on a car like this that's mint, it's going to make it look even glossier than a ceramic coating does and add protection to it. It's more expensive than a ceramic coating because the product costs quadruple the amount, and maybe not quadruple, but triple the amount. And the labor and time that goes into it is more in depth. It's more involved. And then right now we pretty much are only offering front end PPFs. I'm not PPFing full cars yet. I need to, my next investment is going to be a plotter so I can start pre-cutting a lot of panels. Not all panels, but a lot of panels I think would be a little easier to pre-cut. I've just been bulking to understand the concept of PPF and get better at that. So yeah, just doing front end PPFs. I have a guy that comes here for paintless dent removal, get door dings out and things like that. Not everything is fixable for just PDR, but PDR guy, we have a couple tint contacts that we use on the regular. We have a couple body shop contacts that we use on the on the regular. So I constantly am, trying to connect people if we don't offer the service. So I try, and I also plan on getting into vehicle storage. So I'm trying to kind of be a well put together vehicle car care center that you can get pretty much anything done to your car.
So not just detailing, it's going to open up a wider category.
And if we don't do it in house, I can very simply just sub that out to my connection that does that other service in cars, because I only deal with guys that are legit, and good at what they do and take pride and have, because ultimately I'm putting my standard on that car if I'm taking care of that car. So that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully all of these services, our services are going to continue to expand, but it all kind of can be one big, happy place for cars. You know what I mean?
Okay, I gotcha. Now, who are your services best for? Like,
I mean, we cater from the soccer moms with the minivans, to the guys with the 911s and the Ferraris, and everything in between. So we have services that are cheaper and a little more affordable, for the mom with the minivan who knows that by the end of the week, if she gets her car detailed on a Monday, by Friday, those kids are going to trash that minivan with all their sports, with all their soccer, So it makes sense for them. It doesn't make sense for them to get these really expensive services. But the guys that their cars are sitting in their garages and, they got a ton of them and they love looking at their cars and they love driving their cars and they want, things done to their cars. And sometimes a lot of these car guys don't have the time because they're operating their business and doing their, playing their role in life, to maintain their cars and take care of them and a place to put them. So I would love to, be that guy, and then eventually evolve to, I can't even take care of my own cars. I gotta have my guys take care of my cars,
Now, what's your most popular package that you offer right now? What do you see most people coming in to get?
Honestly, dude, this right here.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm not saying that just because we're sitting here next to it, but like that, this is pretty much the ultimate go-to for a lot of people that want at least the outside of their car, to look as best as it can. Ceramic coatings are virtually invisible and they do add gloss. So just like your wax does, you know what I mean? But on a whole nother level. So this achieves the task of, how clean can you get the outside of my car? And that's why oftentimes, especially on cars like this, because it wasn't trashed, I'm not charging this dude for the interior on this car. It's on the house, on us, because it took Eric, an hour and a half to buzz through the inside and get it pretty dialed. So that's on us because I want to present the car in its best form. Right. I don't want to give this dude his car really perfect on the outside and then he's got a couple, you know, small things in the inside that we could have just hit quickly.
Yeah,
you know, I don't want to have that vision. If the car is really dirty on the inside and it's going to take us a couple hours more to dial in the inside to our standard, then I can't just give it away in the service because it's a business.
Yeah.
But I try and you know, meet the customer's expectations and achieve what they're looking for. And I know this guy is going to be stoked when he comes and gets his car.
Right,
and it's a
beautiful.
great middle ground because we have services that are way more expensive and we have services that are way cheaper. So this is a good middle ground of the service that, you know, we can give you your car in its best presentation and give you, you know, some form of protection on the vehicle, and you're not, you know, super breaking the bank on it.
Now, if people want to come drop their car off, how can they get to you? They go through your website? They call you? What do you want the people to do to get to you?
Good question. You can absolutely go to any of our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can go right to our website, which is 3cdetailingpro.com. 3C Detailing Pro is pretty easy to remember. Go right to the website. You can spend the time if you want and got the time, navigate through the website, or you can just go right to the Book Now button. We implemented a new booking system. You submit a form, you tell us what you want, you tell us when you want it. We either approve it or make a suggestion. It says deny. We don't deny anything, but we'll give you a different time that may work better for our schedule, or give you some more information on what you're looking to get done in your service. Because there's a note section and everything. So we try and make it super user-friendly. You can see our prices on the website. You can also simply just call our phone number. If you Google 3C Detailing, the phone number pops up, the website pops up. Call or text. Text is super easy, but you can call the phone number, you can text the phone number. We'll get back to you within, you know, usually it's within 45 minutes. Off hours, weekends, sometimes it's, you know, up to 12 hours, but we will guarantee get back within 12 hours on our off hours. So yeah, we try and make it as easy as possible for people to reach out to us. Like I said, direct message, email, website form, call, text the number, anything you want. There's multiple phone numbers, there's multiple emails. You can reach out to us however you please.
Make it easy for you.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
those
sir.
were pretty much all the questions.
Yeah.
Just thank the
That
people
was
for
good.
watching. And
Thank you guys.
yeah, if you got
I
anything
appreciate
else,
you, bro.
any other messages you want to send to people out there, just let them know. And
No,
then,
that's good, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got some great feedback on the first welcome video that we did. I'm really stoked to do this. I actually was watching the video for the first time when Kirk sent it to me in bed. Me and my girl sat there in bed watching it in the TV in our bedroom, and it was really funny. It kind of felt surreal to watch like a real quality video
of yourself
myself,
too. Yeah.
You know, because I'm so used to watching everybody else's good quality videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, and we got some great feedback. So thank you to those who reached out and said, you know, good job on that video. We're trying to kill it here. So thank you everyone watching. We're getting some good views on the videos, so let's keep that rolling. And I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate those who serve and you know, who we serve for this business and are served by.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to say that. Hit the subscribe button.